Hey guys, I'm Coco, welcome back to Indie Month 2018, where I play 31 games in a month and all of them are indie. So let's continue onwards, and today we're going to be playing Nantucket. Today we're going to be playing Nantucket, and we are going back to the golden age of American whaling industry in the 19th century, early 19th century. So first things first, let's talk about some general things about the game. It came out on 18th of January of this year, 2018, so it's a pretty new game, like half a year old. It has been developed by Pequod Studio and published by Fish Eagle. Fish Eagle, huh? Interesting. Its reviews are mostly positive, and it costs 17.99 euros on Steam. That's the general gist of it. What it is, it's a strategy. A seafaring strategy game is what Steam says. It's a kind of a simulation, adventure, RPG type of thing. But let's go into the details. Basically, you are the captain of your crew. You are going out there to do some whaling. You can go from the Honolulu to the west and to Somalia to the east. I believe that is the thing, with North America in the center of the map. Basically, you can sail to Northern Europe as well. You can sail around the Cape and go that way to the east. So plenty of good stuff out there, plenty of places to whale, and plenty of places to meet some pirates, because there's pirates as well. But we're gonna talk about that later on. First things first, you start with a small ship. You have 3 ship sizes: small, medium, and large. Of course, the bigger the size, the bigger the crew you can have, more boats you can have, well, more whaling boats you can have on a ship. So when you go whaling, you can, you know, lower the boats into the water and get more teams out there if you have a bigger ship. But you start with the small one, and the small one, it can be you and 3 more crew members, I believe. Yes, and 3 more crew members. So 4 people on a whole ship. It's not the greatest, but you know, you can live with that. Of course, there's rats, I'm sure. Anyway, that's what you can do. And then you go out there and you try to find some whales, kill them, and sell their blubber, get their food out of them and good stuff, get maybe their oil. But we're gonna continue about that later on. Now, first things first, what you see first is you're in Nantucket, which is basically a well, you have a shipyard. You have a guy with a who has a newspaper that tells you the news around the world, and it also gives you the job, well, kind of hints, a mission system, if you will. Basically, what you can do is it tells you, hey, we heard about this new whaling area. We need someone to go check it out, and we're gonna give you 200 monies for it. So you go out there, you find if there's whales out there, and when you come back, you get the cash reward because you found it. But also, if there's whales, you're gonna possibly find something good there, kill a whale, and get some money out of that. So basically, missions is something you should be doing. Also, it can tell you, hey, there's a ship missing. It sailed this direction, so go check it out. I did that twice. First time I found pirates. They killed my whole crew. I was the only one that survived, and you know, luckily I was very close to another port, and this is and then that's where I hired 3 more crew members, so I actually had a full crew again. It's a good thing, because otherwise I think the game would just end. You can play it on permadeath, or you can play it on save mode. I did play it on permadeath, so lucky me that I survived there. And the other time I just got an event, hey, looks like it's abandoned or it's sinking or something like that, and then you had the options, hey, go check it out. So if I picked like, hey, let's go check out if there's something invaluable there, I could get the option to get like 300 cash, or one of my people would get hurt. Then I had like, let's go and check the waters for survivors, and there was another chances like someone might die or something like that. So there's these events that happen as you sail around the sea. You know, you can sail through a storm, and it's gonna be, hey, there's a good chance that a bad storm event's gonna happen, and then your crew member's gonna fall and hurt his leg or something. Then there's a chance, hey, send a doctor if you have a doctor. Send a doctor to try to fix him. And if that doesn't work, he might just die, or he might get the maim trait, and that's not great. Every person you have has some traits, so they can be good, they can be bad. They get new traits as they sail around. They get new stuff with XP, or they get new stuff with bad events or good events and stuff like that. Let's go back to port though. So the newspaper guy gives you missions. Then you have a tavern. In tavern you actually hire your people. So you have like general cabin boys. Those you can slowly level up to be whatever you want them to be. But then you have like a couple general classes, if you will. You have a sailor, you have hunter, you have scientist, and you have a craftsman. So basically, sailor is the guy you'd want to put there to sail your boat. Also, you can, when you make your captain, you can pick one of these, what you are or what you were, or something like that. My guy was a sailor. Coco was a sailor guy. So when I went to the tavern, I got myself a hunter, a scientist, and a craftsman. So hunter is going to be the guy that's going to deal the most damage out there if you want to go fight whales, or if you fight pirates. He's going to be the one dealing damage because, well, he's a hunter. He's the one hunting whales, so it's a good thing to have one if you go out there. The scientist can be your doctor. He can heal stuff. He can heal people. And then the craftsman is there, so your boat gets repaired more manually. Because there's another thing. You can go to in port. You can go to like a merchant, and that's where you buy food, you buy water, you buy grog, and you buy wood. So food and water, self-explanatory. Grog gives you morale, you need it, or else people are gonna start to be not so happy about their lives. They might mutiny and stuff like that. And you have wood, so you can constantly repair your ship because it's gonna get damaged and stuff like that. And everything you buy tells you, hey, you have this and this for this amount of days. So if you go like on a 50-day voyage, you might wanna buy 50 days plus food, or else, you know, things might go bad. Of course, if you kill whales, you get some extra food out of them, or, well, you can get some extra food out of them if you want to. So there is that. What else? Yes, in the shipyard, it's not only that you can buy bigger and better ships, might have more guns and stuff, you also do research. So basically how research works is in a port where you are, you say, hey, here's 200 monies. I don't know what, I guess gold is what you can say. 200 gold. And it's gonna take 90 days, but this shipyard in this town is gonna research this and this for me. Like maybe better harpoons, better sails, better guns, you know. Whatever you want to do, you can research there. So, but it's all port-based. You can research one thing in a port, and then you go to another port, another city, and in that port you can research something else. You can't research the thing that has been already starting to research somewhere else, you know? That's how it works. But to get that thing, you just have to sail back. You have to sail back home, back to that port when it's done, and that's when it's gonna get installed on your ship. So, like if you want better harpoons, you research better harpoons, basically do more damage to the whales, and then it gets researched. The whole game has been inspired by Moby Dick, by the way. Like when you start the story and you start playing through the tutorial, you actually meet Captain Ahab. I think he also gives you like his pendant or something like that. I think the gist of the story is that once when you're famous enough, you're gonna go and hunt Moby Dick. I've not played it enough to see if that's what really happens. I played it for I think like 2 hours just for this testing purposes. And you know, it's you can do that. You can probably go hunt Moby Dick, and that's pretty cool. Also, as you just sail around, you explore and you find like whaling areas when you can go actually grab whales. You know, it's not exactly that every time you're gonna get a mission, hey, go there. So if you don't get a mission and you don't know about any whales, you can just sail around and maybe find them somewhere, you know. You never know. Maybe there's some whales that you never get a mission for, but you can find them and get some good stuff out of them. Like once I was like really low on cash, like almost had no cash, but I was sailing back from England back to Nantucket in Northern America, on the East Coast, and I said, hey, I need some extra money. Let's just go sail around Greenland And I know there were some whaling stuff up there. We can go see that. But in the way, I also found another whaling ground that was even better. And I hunted down enough whales to when I got back, I got like 600 money. Even though before I had like, I think 50 left. So, you know, my hold was actually pretty damn full. That is one other thing, you know, small ship, you have a small hold, you can't carry that much because you would get missions, hey, I need you to deliver these goods to Honolulu, it might be 100 days away and you need like 25 cargo space. But if you want to sail for 100 days, you also need to load up for 100 days worth of food, water, grog, wood, and that might actually fill your whole hold. You know, so that might be a problem, and you never know what kind of events you can get in the meantime. I also seen that you can go when you're sailing next to the shore. You can also stop and go hunting out there for food if you're out of it. I've not actually done that, but I've seen that you can do stuff like that. I think you can also go check out for fresh water. You know, all the good stuff. What is else that I need to talk about? Well, basically you sail all around the world in this kind of very cool old style looking map. I really like the way it looks. I think it's very fitting, and as I said, it's inspired by Moby Dick, and there's also plenty of events in the sea based on your character, so and your comrades, your people out there. So like I had a guy that was I think lazy. Yeah. No, I had a guy that was very industrious, so he did a lot of stuff. And then I had a like event, hey, this guy's doing a lot of things that captain would actually have to do. Should I let him do it or should I not let him do it, right? Or I'm gonna go do more. And there was a like 80% chance that I'm gonna get like a also industrious or diligent or whatever the trait was that I'm gonna do more, so positive trait. But there was also 20% chance that I'm gonna get the lazy trait and let him do everything. And of course I got the 20% chance lazy trait. And then I think the next event was, hey, you're so lazy that people are you know, there's another guy that's, you know, seeing how lazy you are and he doesn't want to work as much, so there was like 20% chance that he gets the lazy traits as well, or there's like 80% chance that you lose the lazy trait because you would repair your whatever you were doing and try to work harder. And of course I got the 20% chance again, and he got lazy as well, so I had like 2 lazy people out of the 4 on the boat, so that actually didn't work out that well. Combat. Yes, I have not talked about combat already. So basically how it works, when you go against whales on a small boat, you have like one whaling boat that you can put out there. On bigger ones you have more, and on each you can get 3 crew members. Basically they have cards, and then you roll the dice. They roll the dice as well, but you're the one that starts first. So you roll the dice, and chances are you roll that you can do an attack. Chances are, depends on what kind of people you have. Like if you have hunter is gonna attack. You can have like a scientist. You can change, hey, I want his dice to be like for healing purposes, or I want his dice to be for also weaker attacks. Same for your navigators. Navigators, I think, or sailors can do like, hey, let's calm the waters and maybe save us like that. Or I can have the attack dice as well. And you roll, and then you can pick, hey, I'm gonna use my hunter's attack, he can do it, and we're gonna attack the whale. But then whales are gonna attack you back, like they roll as well, but you're the one that starts first. I think against pirates was a bit different, because I think against whales only one of my guys could attack, and against pirates all my guys could act. So that was a bit different. I'm not sure why exactly that happened, but there it was. That happened. So against pirates, they were pretty tough. They were like 13, and 19 health. And as I fought whales, they were all like juniors and newborns and stuff like that. So we're pretty easy. I've not fought any like real monsters out there. They all had like 6 HP. So if I rolled my hunter's dice, he could just one-shot them. I did fight more than one at the same time as well. So you know there's different things, but I've seen like bigger whales as well. Like at least in tutorial, we have a bigger whale to fight. So yeah, this is Nantucket. It's a seafaring strategy game. I'd say I recommend it. If you like strategy games, I'd say it's a pretty good one. It reminds me it reminds me of old Trade Winds games. It's been like, probably they're like 15 years old, I guess. There was a bunch of Trade Winds games, and basically what you did is sail all around the world and you traded between towns. So there were a bunch of towns, and you could buy on the cheap here and sell for a lot of cash in the other town on the other side of the world. But of course there were pirates and stuff that would stop you. I played a lot of that in the ages past, but this kind of reminds me of that. But of course there's more events, there's more missions, and all that kind of stuff as you sail around and find new stuff. So yeah, if you like strategy games, I'd say it's a pretty cool one to test out. Now the price might be a bit steep for what I've seen so far. I'm not saying that it's not worth it, but you might want to wait for sale. I always say, hey, if you're not quite sure, wait for sale. Yes, that's probably the best thing you can do. That's how Steam works, right? But otherwise, yeah, it's a very cool strategy game with a lot of RPG elements as you level up your crew and yourself as well. And I'll definitely recommend it to people who like games like this. But anyway, as always, there's gonna be a vote at the end of the month, so you can always vote for this game, and I will play it proper series later on in September. But for now, thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please consider dropping a comment down below, share, like, subscribe, and see more. Do your magic, and I'll see you next time. Koko out.